Hello and welcome to the Geek Den. Today we're going to be having a look at the R2D2 build issue 18. These are the parts. A quick look through the magazine, like we always do. A nice picture of R2 on the front. So here we dove into more of the background of Star Wars. We hear about Yoda. There's some nice bits here, you can see, about R2 and about Kenny Baker, the late Kenny Baker, I should say. Then we have obviously the droids. We've got the Gatekeeper droid, TTAL Y7. Obviously Star Wars thought of it first, but this section here reminds me of The Flight of the Navigator, if you've ever seen that film. Obviously well after this film, but that's what it reminds me of. It's Star Wars originally. And then we've got the multi-legged explorer, so real life robotics. Here, as you can see, some bits there. Then we have our components, which we have more of the frame, and we actually have the microphone. I just want to bring that back a little bit. Yep, so we have the projector housing, but this microphone goes into the projector housing. This is how the section is put together. We'll go into all that. And then obviously our next issue, which we'll be reviewing, which will be next week, is issue 19. Doesn't seem to be a lot there. Just seems to be the leg frame and some leg details, so actually probably not a lot to do next week. So let's open this up and get it started. Okay, so in this video I thought I'd show you something a little bit different. Normally I run through this or I skip these bits, but I thought I'd show you how my process goes. Basically I test fit, and I'd recommend this highly before screwing stuff down, is to test fit every section as you get it. So that bit goes there and that bit goes here, just to hold it in like that. So that's how it should look. Everyone has their own way of doing this, because I find this quite fiddly to do. So firstly, just line it up, and then what I do is I grab a screw, as you can see my hand here, as you can see, and I'll put that in first, and then I'll hold it. I'll grab it's still in there, and then what I'll do is I'll put this on top so it stays on. Oh, if I can, as you can see, the screw stays on top of the screwdriver that you bought. That's free with it, shall I say. And it just goes in here. It goes in here, into this hole. Keep your finger on the other one and screw. So let's do the other side. The other that. So I don't know if you can see very well. But, firstly, I will put the screw in, as you can see. Then I'll get another screw and do that. As you can see, I know it's a bit blurry, just will not focus. Hold it in place, and it goes. It goes just in there. Hold it down. There we go. So those two are in place. And on this one, doing the same again. So get the little screw, line this up. That's it. Put this in. Oh. This one's a bit more tricky, it doesn't want to stay in there. Oh, it doesn't really. I think it's out. Okay, so for the more tricky ones, I would first do that, and then carefully lay it down. Then I'll get this and put it over like that. The screw's still attached, as you can see. Find out where it sits, which is here, and screw it in. There we go. That one done. Once again, I don't know if you can see this very well. If I do that, and this goes in here like this. And this one here, like that. And I'll hold this screw, and then you need to hold the screw up as well. There we go. And that is the dome finished. As you can see, that is the dome finished for this issue. I have noticed there's a bit of a gap, but I'm hoping that will sort out in itself. Yeah, as you can see, this is how I do it, because I find this getting the screws in here is fairly very fiddly, so that's the best way I can suggest of you doing it. I think that's the better way of doing it. So let's put the dome away a minute and get the next part out. So here we go. Sorry, that was my other phone. So I would try and keep all of this together, really, as much as you can. Try and keep it together. I mean, as in to keep this on here. So just pull this out very slightly. Oh no, actually, you're going to have to. I've just looked. You're going to have to actually take this off. Okay. So this goes all the way through, like this. So it sits on like this, as you can see. And the next bit is the lens. Goes over the top. Like that. And now this over the top of that. Now I suggest you do exactly the same with these screws, as in you just stick it on like that and screw it in. Ow! Right, okay. That was my fault. Once again, just like that. And screw it. There we go. That is fully in, and that is it for this issue. Yeah, I'll try and keep the tab bits here. So I've got it again. Here, I would wrap this up back around. That way it keeps it all neat and tidy, and it's all nicely in there. I don't know if you can notice, or you can actually see that there is a little tiny hole on that lens, obviously, so you can give it commands. Hang on a second, let me turn off this light. Really, that's better. And you can see the little hole here, so it will be able to understand you. But that is it, and that is the dome here. Let me just put it on its little stand so we can have a proper look. Okay, so and that's it for this issue, and we'll see you at the next video.